Hi everyone, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. A couple of days ago, Remarkable started rolling out the updates, really welcome and long overdue updates for their desktop app and especially the mobile app. So I got the updates for both of them and I'm just gonna check them out to see what's new, what they're like, what works, what doesn't work, and yeah, where we're at. And just a note, I am going to be testing a desktop app on the PC and the mobile app on the Android, but from my understanding, they should all be bringing the same features to the table on Apple, iOS, PC, or Android. So let's check it out. Right, so let's first check out the desktop app, and I'm checking it out on PC, but as far as I understand, the functionality should be fairly similar. So first let's see what's new. And what's new stuff is listed here. So we have a cleaner and more consistent user interface, trash functionality, improved drag and drop functionality, keyboard navigation, and some bug fixes. First, I can definitely see that the user interface has been cleared up, and the major change that you can see is that on the top here we have the plus folder for adding a new folder. We can have move to trash. Well, on the bottom here we have the trash icon, and also we have the import option now, which is, I think this is a little bit different than it was before. We still have the same left panel here, which resembles what your Remarkable cloud or Remarkable organization of files is, and that's pretty much it. So it's a very nice and clean and concise type of experience. One thing that I would say is that when I was experimenting with the keyboard shortcuts, F11 is a toggle full screen mode on or off, which is excellent. I really love that. However, I am missing an icon, a dedicated icon in the corner here or in the corner there, wherever, somewhere where it actually is allowing you to toggle this not via keyboard but via mouse if you so choose. More importantly, if you by accident end up in a full screen mode and you don't know how you did it by accidentally pressing F11, well, there's no way that you can understand what happened, and furthermore, because it's full screen mode, you can't close the app. So if you're not that kind of comfortable with computer usage, I can see this potentially confusing and scaring the user. So an icon would actually make sense, and doubly so because if I open any document or a note, I will have that full screen icon down there, and I don't understand why is it not present in the full screen mode. I mean, functionality is obviously there, the icon is obviously there. I think it's just an oversight and it should be present somewhere along the user interface, mainly to allow for people to actually get out of the full screen mode if they choose to, and if they don't know how F11 thing works. Other than that, I think the user interface looks okay. Next one is importing redesigned, and yep, it works pretty much okay. So if I click on import, I can go to my dedicated folder that I prepared, which is called new folder 2, and then I can choose one or multiple files and choose to import them. So now that I've imported them, I can do things that I might want with them, which is drag and drop. So now I can click and drag and I can move them to a folder, and they are moved to a folder, which is perfect. I really like that. So now I can, let's say, select multiple ones, and I can't click and drag, but I can click and I can select one of them, press and hold Control, or I guess Command on Mac, and then subsequently each other one that I click on is added to that selection. And then I can drag, and if I want to go up a folder, I simply go, let me just do that again so that you guys can see. So click on the first one, left click on the first one, Control, hold Control, and then click, and then I have this selection and I can drag on it, and if I want to move it out of the folder that I'm in, I can just hover above my files and it will get me there. And now I can drop them in the root and they're in the root. So this is very intuitive and very welcome. This is basically how it should work as far as I'm concerned. So that's a good thing. One thing that I'm not too fond of is, while I understand the drag functionality is basically there to kind of mimic touch functionality, that's okay, but this is not tablet app and this is not a mobile app. And I don't know pretty much anyone who is going to benefit from that, but I do know a lot of people would benefit from a marquee selection, which is left click and hold so that we can select multiple files and then normally operate with that selection. I'm not entirely sure why that is a thing, but I guess it is. One thing I also wanted to cover is that I can't seem to find a way to change the default view from a list or to a grid. I really don't know even if there's an option for that, and that would be a helpful thing, because if you have a long list of files, definitely it's nice to at least have that. But yeah, I don't see it present here. So I'm going to move this to trash, and I'm going to go into a folder, and now I can also, while I'm in a folder, I can still select my files. Now here's another thing: the import button doesn't remember where you were last, so it doesn't really pertain the last path you imported from. I think it would be a good idea to at least have preferences so that you can choose the type of behavior. You can choose your default folder and you can choose continue from the last folder that was used, so that users who have different preferences can actually choose. But yeah, so now I can select these guys and they're imported in a different folder. So I no longer have to go into the root and import into the root and that kind of stuff. So that's good. What's not, here's the thing. I would really love the marquee selection to be here so I can just select all of them and not do small things, but small thing after small thing after small thing, it kind of matters. With the selection, you can copy, you can favorite, you can move it to trash, and you can move them, as normally. So this kind of importing works, but the place where I do have a problem is that in what's new, it's clearly stating drag to import. Now, I haven't tried this on Mac, so maybe and probably it works on Mac, but on a PC, I'm dragging, and I can drag all I want, but that thing is not working, and it doesn't happen. Doesn't matter if I'm in a folder or in the root. Drag and drop for importing simply doesn't work. So for me, it just doesn't function, and that's a shame, because it would be nice to be able to actually have a marquee selection, drag and drop, and then it works. It's right there. It says that it should be there, but it's not. For PC at least, it's not. Trash functionality has been added, and as you can see, the trash icon is there, and you have the things that you've deleted and blah blah blah. So the trash functionality works exactly the same as on the remarkable device as it is now, and I have a problem with that, very much so. And that's something that I've been talking about since the trash functionality came out. And the problem that I have is I'm just gonna try and show something. So let's say that I have this situation. I want to delete these files from the root. Fine, I can press delete or click on move to trash, and they will go to trash. All right. So now I go to the trash, and they are there. And let's say I said, like, okay, I didn't want to move them to trash. I want to restore them. Great. I have a restore function. Click on restore, and they are restored. All good. However, if I have these guys in a folder, right? And then I want to delete them from a folder or to delete the entire folder. So let's go move to trash, and let's repeat the same operation. Move to trash, and I want to restore these files. And now I go to my test folder. They are not restored into the original folder. Instead, they are restored to root. This is not a restore function, this is a restore to root function. And if they are so adamant to actually have to have this for whatever bizarre reason, then it would be really, really helpful if we had at least an additional button. Let's move this stuff to trash. If we had an additional button here, restore and restore to root, at least give us an option to have normal type of behavior, and then whoever is insisting on this bizarre behavior, they can be happy because they have that option, but then the users can also be happy because we can have a normal operation. Because if I have a deeper folder structure and I make a simple mistake of deleting a file that I didn't want, now I'm forced to actually restore the file and then move it back into the folder structure and remember where it was and things like that. Completely unnecessary, and I don't think anything can warrant to have only this type of behavior and be adamant that this is a proper way that it should function. It simply is not. Another thing that's also been added in the latest version 2.3 of the desktop app are the keyboard shortcuts, and I'm a huge fan of keyboard shortcuts, so that's a really cool thing. So I've been exploring it. Unfortunately, there isn't a list that tells you what all the keyboard shortcuts are, and that would be kind of cool if they just added like in a help, and it's like I don't know, about, and then something like someplace. But let's try and cover, and these are the things that I've figured out so far. So what you can do is we have full keyboard integration, and that's basically if you have even if nothing is selected, when you start moving the arrow keys on your keyboard, you're basically moving between files and folders. And that's pretty cool. And once you get all the way to the left, to the side, and when you press the left button once more, you will be on the menu, and then you can just simply go between all of these things here. And then you can press enter, and now I'm in my notebooks. I can select a notebook if I want, or go back to PDFs, select a PDF, open it, that works. I haven't tried this, hopefully escape works. Yep, escape works. You're going back with using escape. And yeah, I really love this. So you can navigate anywhere that you want, and this is behaving exactly as you would expect it to. So finally something that actually behaves how you want it to. So the integration of navigation using the arrow keys is spot on, and I really, really like this. One thing that I haven't tried is, yeah, once you're in a document, arrow keys now up and down will scroll through the document. So that's a very, very cool thing as well. Zoom functionality is not on the scroll button, so I don't know if there is. I haven't been able to find a keyboard shortcut for zoom functionality, so I was thinking maybe if it would be a combination of shift and arrows, alt and arrow, or control and arrow, but it's not. So at the moment it looks like we don't have any keyboard combination for the zoom functionality, and I think it would be an easy thing to maybe have shift and up and down to actually control the zoom levels. That will be kind of very handy when trying to zoom in to specific areas of the document or the note that you're in. Then we have dedicated controls for copy, move, and insert here, and delete. So Control C or Command C, Control X, and Control V are for copy, move, insert, respectively. And delete button is, of course, for move to trash. All good there. And there are two more shortcuts, which I really love, and you can find them here in the document, and they are for new folder and import. So technically speaking, I guess in document you have that list of available shortcuts. If there are no other available, then I guess this works. But I think it would be nice to have a tutorial, but then again, I guess I'm making one, so all's good. So these two I really love because Control, Shift, N creates a new folder, my folder, and then I can just press enter, go back into it, and then I can go back and pretty much works. I can move it to trash and all is good. So Control Shift N works, and that's familiar maybe for Windows users because that's a default shortcut in Windows for a new folder. So it's something that you're used to. The final shortcut that I really love is also the Control I, which is a shortcut for import. Oh, so it works if you have nothing selected, but if I have anything focused, then it doesn't work. All right, so if you have a document or a folder focused, then it doesn't work. But if I press escape, I'm no longer in focused mode, and I can press Control I, and then I can import my documents. All right, so basically the basic guideline is if you have the black line up there, then your Control I won't work, and it will work only if you see the import icon available there, then Control I will work. All right, not bad. As far as I'm concerned, the keyboard integration is a really important element for me because that's how I prefer to use apps, and I really like that I'm able to do all of my stuff, almost all of my stuff that I would like to, using keyboard only, and I don't have to reach over for my mouse. So things that I would change, well, not much. Only the zoom function I think would be nice, and that's pretty much it. So desktop app is looking pretty good. However, there are things that I think should definitely be improved in future versions. And mainly it has to do with the trash functionality, as I've already mentioned. I think drag and drop importing should definitely be fixed because it's advertised that it works, but it doesn't. At least in here, it does not work. And I tried it on another PC as well, and it didn't work there either. So 2 out of 2, it's less of a chance that it's something wrong with my PCs than that it's with the app. I also think that it would be a good idea to have an undo and redo operation, like undo redo desktop app operation available. If you've deleted or mucked something up, that you can just go Control Z and undo your mistake. Currently we don't have that option, and I think it's something that's needed because it is a standard for any old or modern desktop application. I'm just gonna test out now the live view and see how that works. I'm just gonna go into the test folder and I'm just gonna create a new notebook, share, and live view, which apparently is still in beta. So live view is connecting. Let's see, there we go, we have the here. So let's test it out. This is my test of the live view. All right. I'm seeing something a little weird here. It's tracking correctly, but what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be drawing lines right according to lines, and you can see here that I've written on the line, but in the live view it's not synchronized. So let's see how big of an offset is. So I'm just going to draw strokes right on the lines of my template, and let's see, so they are pretty much offset, and they seem to be very strangely offset. Yeah, that's definitely not what I drew. So while the strokes are working, there seems to be some issue, most definitely, with how the strokes are basically interpreted, or how the template is scaled. So something scale-wise is off, but tracking and connectivity seem to be working just fine. yeah, that's okay, other than the weird scaling thing, which I'm not sure if it was present from before because I've never really paid attention to that aspect, but I've never noticed it this much before, so maybe this is a new kind of thing, I don't know, but it is there. Alright, so here we are in the new mobile app version. So if I go here into the about, we can see that we have the version 2.3.0 and I'm running it on Android. So first things first, it looks very much similar. There's nothing much changed other than I have now the plus icon folder here on top, and if I tap it, I can just create my new folder and and then it didn't like my new folder and it just went to my new. So let's try, maybe it doesn't like new law. Do you not like long names? No, you just don't like new folder? Folder? Okay, folder is named. Sorry, I'm just bug tracking now. I'm just, because I never encountered this before. So, a new folder? Huh. So in a combination of new folder, it has a thingy to remove folder. So if folder is after the word new, do, let's see, old new folder. Yeah, this is really weird. So apparently you can't have the new folder name of your new folder. All right, fine. So just say my new and whoa, what? Okay, this is most definitely a bug and I'm not gonna do bug tracking live, but this is something that's weird. So you can get your new folder and you can name it in somehow, I guess. Please let me keep this name folder. Yeah, you can use please let me keep this name, but I can't do folder. So that's really weird. But you can add a new folder, but you can't really name it the way you want to. I guess the app is very peculiar about that. Other than that, we have still the ability to switch between the list and the grid view. When you go to the menu, we have our notebooks, PDFs, ebooks, and you can do filtering basically as you normally would. And at the bottom we have our import, about, frequently asked questions, and login and out. However, the new thing is that now we have the trash functionality, and then you can just empty your trash, or you can go back to my files, you can select some of the files. Correction. Jesus Christ. Oh man, this has still not been fixed. I really can't believe it that this is now an environment that exists for 2.5, almost 3 years, and multi-select is not a thing on mobile. So seriously, if you want to delete a file on the mobile app or files on a mobile app, I have to do this. If I want to delete these files, I need to go select one, move to trash. 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 And select one, move to trash. Are you kidding me? Has anyone even tested this? I don't, like, why would you release an update and not actually do the job that's required? I don't understand this. It's really annoying. So I assume returning from trash is, oh yeah, it's the same thing. You can restore, you can either empty everything, or if you made a mistake and, God forbid, deleted accidentally 10 files, you're in a world of pain. So you have to do one at a time. Well, that's less than optimal, I would say. So does that mean that they didn't change my biggest gripe of all with the mobile app was that you, well, twofold. You couldn't import to anywhere else other than to root of the directory structure, and you couldn't import more than one file. So let's try that. I'm now in a folder. Of course not. So I'm in a folder, and as soon as you go into the folder, you no longer have the menu to import. You only have the back button. So you are still forced to import only to the root, and this is only in the mobile app. I mean, nowhere else are you forced to do that. So this is incredibly disappointing. But all right, let's see. Maybe we can finally import more than one file. Nope, it's not letting me. I'm pressing and holding now. And normally, when an app actually allows me to do that, I'm able to press and hold. Oh, nope. So there you go. It just doesn't let you. Nope, I can only switch between one of them. Wow. Right, let's just move to trash. So yeah, you can still only import a single file to the root of your folder structure on the Remarkable. So whoever designed this and tested and let it out, they think that it's okay that if I want to import two files and put them into a directory structure, that the workflow should go like this. Then I need to go import, select one file, go select, and then I can go to import, select the other file, and import that as well. And then I can, and when I want to move them, I select one, and then you select the destination, and then you move your file. Then you go back, then you select again, and then you move. Then you select the folder and you move it there. I mean, seriously, somebody has to be joking here, because this is just ridiculous. I mean, if this is a joke, it's a really good joke, but it's a bit of an old joke because it's been like for 2 or 3 years almost now. And if you're issuing an updated version of an app that's completely now not standardized to any of your other environments, I have to call into question the competency of the team or the person or persons who were responsible for this, because this is dreadful. This is simply not okay by any means. And yeah, let's now see. One of the things that I really don't like as well is the trash functionality. Let's see if that's consistently crazy. So I'm just gonna move this into a folder, and I'm gonna move. What? Didn't you just? So now I have 2 of them? Okay. This whole thing is really, really weird. And I can move it here. So, what? So this is copying right now. I choose move, and I go into move. Yeah, the files are there. Yeah, there they are. So it's behaving as if I'm pressing on copy, yet I'm not. Okay, let's try again. I'm gonna everything a single time. So maybe I was. Oh no, I wasn't. It was just not updating correctly. Seriously. Okay, so I guess I'm now in a pickle because I've deleted those, but that's okay, because I want to restore them into this folder, and we have the trash functionality, right? All right, let's restore one file at a time, of course, because God forbid that you could actually restore multiple files. And yes, we have the awful trash functionality, which doesn't restore where the files were, which was in this folder. It actually is a restore to root functionality, and you don't have an option of changing that. So yeah, this mobile app is absolutely a disappointment. A very, very, very disappointing update. Well, okay, I mean, the conclusion is pretty clear. I'm not a fan of the trash functionality. I'm never against reinvention, and if a reinvention of a thing actually works properly, then yeah, for sure, that's excellent. And it's okay to try something, but if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And in this case of the trash functionality, I don't see a single justification to actually make it okay. Why are we not allowed to restore our files to where they were? Why doesn't the restore function restore files? You know, either call it restore to root or give us both options so that it actually works. But as it is, it's just not okay. Desktop app, I think, brings quite a few things that are cool, especially if the drag and drop import starts working, then it's a very nice thing. Keyboard shortcuts, in all honesty, is the thing that got me most excited because it's very nice and works properly, but there's certainly room for more improvement in the desktop app and the trash functionality, drag and import to actually make it work. A little bit of an icon for full screen mode so that people don't get confused, undo, redo, and all of these kind of little things I think would be a welcome addition. All in all, not the best, but it's good. Now for the mobile app, now that's a very different story. That's a tremendously disappointing update there, at least for the Android, but from what I understand, it's the same thing on iOS as well. You can correct me if I'm wrong, I would love to hear that. As you've seen, the adding a new plus folder icon and the same trash functionality, and just call that like another point upgrade, especially after the previous version was 1.7 or something, so we just jumped to 2.3. First of all, that doesn't make any sense, but okay. And then it's like from 1.7 you go to 2.3 and all you've added is a new folder and a trash functionality, and you didn't fix everything else, and there's plenty wrong with it. That's just not okay under any circumstances. So it's a tremendously disappointing update as far as the mobile app goes for Android. A huge and a complete disappointment for me. If you didn't enjoy the updated versions of the apps, I hope that you at least enjoyed the video of me bringing you the update regarding those updates. If you did, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Yes, this is the first time I'm actually saying that because of the whole fanfare and expectations about the upcoming Remarkable 2 review. Just hit that notification bell and then you will automatically get notified the instant the videos come online, so that you don't miss a beat. Thank you so much for the support and see you next time. Bye!